yourself in the world. And even why I focus so much on women. I'm gonna wait a few moments, see what we get. How you doing? How are you doing tonight? I'm waiting. Let's see, I'm gonna tag a few people while I'm waiting. Oh no, it doesn't let me. So, here we go. I'm gonna wait a few moments to see if you come on board with me and in this conversation about radical presence. And I was given that word by a now dear friend of mine. We were doing some energy work together, and he said the word that comes to me with you, and that is that you brought radical presence. And that when that happened, he had his own desires and opening, and this radical presence brought an energetic shift that opened some things very specifically for him that he really wanted opened. So radical presence, that is part of the work that I bring to a session, but also to life. And so if you are disassociated from your body, and there are many reasons that people these days are disassociated from their bodies. You could probably list some of the reasons. I mean, some of them are very obvious, like wanting a body that looks a certain way, getting caught in diet cycles, and looking at comparing yourself to actors and actresses, or people from other cultures, or just people with different genetics or the same genetics, but their bodies, their noses, their eyes are different than yours. So those are the simplest ways that people begin. Hello, if you're here, say hello. I want to know you're with me. So when you're disassociated, we're talking about the reasons people and our society have become disassociated from our bodies. And then I'm going to talk about why we need to be associated. You'll never fully manifest your magic in the world with the grace and ease that you can until you sink back into this body. And this is an ancient knowing. It's why we say body, mind, spirit, and people have known this in different ways for many years. If you're here, say hello. So the reasons you may be disassociated: body shame, diet shame, comparison shame, looking at supermodels, magazines, TV shows, and wishing you were more like that, and anything you've done to beat yourself up about that. The other thing, sexual trauma, religious beliefs or cultural beliefs that have you go, my body's not important, which, yes, we are more than a body. We are spirits, and this is the house that we're floating in, but it is the temple. It's the sacred altar that we come into. So first of all, some of our primal inklings, knowings, and actual happenings, the magic that happens beyond will and force, the creativity meeting habit, and the ability to do so happens when we are in connection here, and not just all here and not just all here. And so inside of our bodies, we have our head knowledge, our heart knowledge, our gut knowledge, and then there's the womb or the hara knowledge. And my belief is that if you are male or female, you have both energies inside, and however you identify, but based on what you're born, how you're born, you have certain magic built in. Specifically, you are either the divine masculine as God, male God embodied here on this planet, or you are divine feminine God, the feminine embodied here on this planet. And each of those embodiments have real magical reflections inside of this body and inside of our natural nature. And so to make the most, hello if you're here, to make the most of that natural nature and that divinity flowing, you have to fully realize the gifts that you're loaded with, and to fully realize those, you need to be connected to who you are first, physically, as a body. What is here? What are these signals? What are the sending? Is that Hannah? Hello, darling. So I'm just talking about the reasons we disassociate from our bodies and why we need to be associated with our bodies. Your divine masculine walking around, and this is, if you're a male, then your body is the physical representation of divine masculine. If you're a female, then this is the feminine representation of God, the feminine. So part of the reason I work mostly with women, which lately I've been doing a lot of work with men, is because many, many women have spent years totally not even knowing that there is a God, the feminine, or even the concept of divine feminine, and that this is also a reflection of something higher and holy in physical form. So first of all, just helping women to remember that, and you as a woman, when you remember that and sink that in, you allow in more of the truth of who you are, which is source energy happening. And so it's very healing. Number one, just coming home to, wow, this is divine feminine flowing. The second thing is that our sexuality and sensuality has been misconstrued in so many ways, and we've played a part in that ourselves, and that's because for many reasons. One, it's been passed to us. Our sexuality is either put out in an over sexualized, objectified way, or in a way that is so like, the other extreme is very, very modest and shamed and put it away. Don't talk about it. It's only for certain scenarios and hush hush kind of way. And then there are all the things in between about how to, as a woman, how do you be sexy and desirable, but also, modest and desirable in that way. And there's the sexual cultural kind of, shame that happens there. So with all of that going on, there's another reason that women kind of disassociate from their bodies. It's like we almost look at these bodies and try to make them more appealing, desirable, beautiful, acceptable, and we try to control and do all this with them so that we're accepted in society. So it creates another level of disassociation. Then add to that any sexual abuse or trauma, and gives you one more reason to leave the body and disconnect from, these feelings in our nature. Yet, for those of you that work with me, there is so much power in a woman's body, and that power speaks to who you are as a woman. The ability to weave an entire body together inside of your being. The ability, thank you for the love, the ability that our menstrual blood has, that it has thousands of stem cells in it, our waist, and that it can regenerate and create a brand new heart, speaks to the nature of who we are. And so when we understand and honor the mysteries that come with our ebbing and flowing with the moon, and the emotions that come with our cycles, and the mysteries of our inklings and our spiritual connection and our ability to weave communities together, then you come home to who you are as source energy. And when you come home to that, who you are as source energy, then a message came through, then you have the power in your life okay? Not only to live the purpose that you're here to live and called to live, but you have the divining power to actually do it. So that is why, even though my core message, my absolute core message is, hey, male, female, human, you are God happening. You are. And you're happening all the time. And you are totally equipped with all the power that you need to live divine dreams, to be blessed and nourished beyond measure, to experience rich love, to enjoy epic adventures, to create magnificent experiences, magnificent work, magnificent art. You're equipped because you are God energy, God in physical form happening. And so that is my absolute message and truth of all the work that I do, is to bring you back to that. Then the major piece is connect back in to your body. And in order to do that, to your creative center, to your womb. And so that requires releasing and unblocking and remembering and returning to the truth of who you are. So removing and healing and releasing and aligning with everything that you need to align with. And that means coming back to the body, coming back to the womb, and these other initiations and alignments that have come through for you to be here, radically present in your world, to your own desires, to your connection to the entire universe, to your soul and your spirit that is always held and is here to create something magnificent that is your life and your version of that. So when my clients work with me, or I'm working with you, we're working with all of the elements to unleash that divinity more fully from your being. And sometimes that looks like integrating many things. Lots of things need to be integrated. Sometimes it looks like removing. Sometimes it looks like healing. But it all comes back to, hey sister, hey brother, get into your body. Get into your spirit, get into your womb. And there are lots of processes for having you be more of who you are, so that you can create whatever you want and make the most of this opportunity that you have as a spirit with a body, with a family, with humanity, with animals, inside of a planet. And it is powerful, it is potent. And I said I was going to say a little bit about habits. I'm going to say something about habits now. So the more you recognize yourself as source energy, the easier habits become. Because when you realize that you truly are desiring things that are meant for your highest and greatest good, and to lead you down your own magical self-realized path that will ultimately impact and connect and help, add to the juiciness of this world path, then you begin to take your passion and your desires more seriously, playfully, but serious. And it becomes really natural to consistently show up with your habits, even if they start a little shaky. It becomes easier to feed yourself because you love yourself, to move your body because you love yourself and you appreciate, and then that gets momentum and you appreciate what movement and sweat and all of that feels like. It becomes easier to show up, to write or to paint or to dance or to love or to date or to take something apart that no longer serves you, so you can move into the next space, because you will know that you can trust yourself, that you are worthy and more than enough. You will really understand the magnificence of who you are. And when you get that, then all the shiz in the way, the confusion, the all that other stuff, it still happens, but it's not a deal breaker. It doesn't take you out of the game, because when you realize how powerful you really are and how important your desires are and your version of life expression and your relaxation and your majesty is, and you realize that you actually have everything you need, then you're free, and you start to create, and you take it again and again. You take and you create what is next for you, and you enjoy the journey, not from a place of victim and unsure and not enough. You enjoy it as creator with source energy, co-creating with all these other gods and goddesses on the planet. And it is profound, it is a privilege, it is a pleasure, and it is so beautiful. So thank you for being with me tonight. I just want to say that I love you so much. I want to see you and your gifts fully realized on this planet. And I am an activating energy that I have, don't boast all the time, but I have declarative power, years of practice. I have energetic knowing and deep spiritual connection, called to activate other people into their own source energy, their own power, their own presence, their own legendary lives, epic love, soulmate relationships, soulmate clients and careers. And I want to help you. I can serve you. And I have a beautiful group of women where we are learning and growing and remembering together. Hannah's part of that and has already benefited greatly from that. I'd love to have you there. It's super duper affordable for friends and family. It's affordable for people who are non-friends and family, especially because you get your life out of it. You get your ability to step into the love of your life, to step into the career of your life, to do the things that you're here to do, and to do the healing that you need to get there. So join me in that. Book a soul call with me. It's complimentary, and you'll get value out of that. I promise. People regularly cry or have aha moments or get really major shifts in those calls, and I'm not attached. If we have that call and you don't end up coming into my group, totally fine and okay, because I know that I'm contributing to my own legacy and your legacy. So private message me and let's do that. If you have someone that you think could benefit from this Facebook Live, please share it. And that's all for now. And Hannah, I'll see you in just a little bit, 45 minutes for our womb cross creation. I look forward to it. Lots of love. Bye.